Today is Friday, January the 17th. Advancers pretty much equal to decliners, which means that our market breadth oscillator isn't going to change. It's stuck in the middle between neutral and overbought. But look at the volume. Really high volume in the Dow and the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Lots of green. Unfortunately, Amazon, Walmart, our two biggest retail stocks are down. Basic materials, which you would think would have been helped by the Chinese deal, should have been doing better, but they weren't. Healthcare was a mix. Financials continue to be strong. So what does that mean? Well, the S&P is reaching a critical point. Remember, we've been looking at two sets of Fibonacci's. Let's comment on the cloud before we get rid of it. We are now 218 points off of the cloud, the furthest that we've been in an awful long time. Now let's look at the Fibonacci. So let's take away the Ichimoku, and we've got this Fibonacci, which is an extension. We had it come up to here and pull back to this level. Then we had it move up to here and pull back to the 61.8. So this 61.8 pullback is this right here. Where is it? Let's grab it. It's this blue line right here. So this move up pulled back 61.8%. Now we're looking at repeating this move here to here from this point. And 100%, so a repeat of this distance would bring us up to 333,636. And we are awfully close to that right now. That could be the point at which price comes down and tries to test for support on the cloud. That's what I'm thinking. Apple, pretty good day, made a new high. Volume wasn't particularly good, but it did make a new high. Amazon, very disappointing. Amazon's chattering around here, and we said we were going to look at the volume, and we didn't have any volume that was convincing enough that tells me that I want to get out of the few contracts that I have for Amazon in February. So I'm going to hold on to those. Caterpillar only down 9 cents, continuing to just move along in this channel. Volume not particularly high, given what we saw in the Dow exceeding its relative volume. We're not seeing it with Apple, and we're not seeing it with Caterpillar. Home Depot is another Dow stock, and look at that, we're seeing it with Home Depot 2 days in a row now. So this is a trade that we should have stayed in. Rejection today was where? Exactly at the top of the cloud. Exactly at the top of the cloud is where we had our high today, and we retreated from that. So the Chiku span hit the top of the cloud and pulled back. This stock is still going upwards, and it's probably looking at returning back to this level right here, which would be returning back to a previous high. Tesla, you know that we're following this stock in our options trading tutorial. You can look at that video separately. It was down 344, but not on a lot of volume, as opposed to yesterday, which rallied on a lot of volume. Today's trading was a doji and just ended up right in the middle, but our two SMIs are still definitely in the direction downward. Whirlpool, very disappointing. Got its support on the 8 EMA. We see Whirlpool starting the day like it's on fire and then pulling back. Housing numbers were pretty darn good, so that should spell good news for a white goods maker like Whirlpool. But with China tariffs coming off, I imagine there's probably still tariffs on China imports in the area of washers and dryers, but the competition really comes from South Korea with LG and Samsung. Anybody else that we want to look at? No. So that's it for today. We are still going up, and I believe that on Monday or Tuesday next week, Tuesday we start the impeachment hearings, so possibly Monday we're going to hit this magic 336.36, and I do believe we're going to see resistance there. So I'm going to save that alert. Have a good weekend.